A Glow in the Ashes, the Sacred Art Museum. This is the Museum of Rescued Art. Art found again. Art born of miracles. Many of the masterpieces housed here had disappeared and have only been rediscovered since the end of the 19th century up to the present day. There are some surprising treasures in the rooms of the museum, with some extraordinary little stories to tell. The architect and sculptor Giovanni di Nicola from Pisa, more commonly known as Giovanni Pisano, the Sienese sculptor Gano di Fazio, the goldsmith Andrea Pisano, the painters Ambrogio Lorenzetti and Stefano di Giovanni, known as Sassetta, are the actors on the stage of this museum. Here we can retrace the exceptional art history of Massa Marittima, a journey that starts in the 12th century building sites of one of Italy's most beautiful cathedrals, the great church of St. Cerbonius, and continues into the 1400s and 1500s. These are the centuries of medieval art, Romanesque and Gothic. In 5 small rooms, we can pause in front of works of outstanding beauty and compare one with another. In the old chapter houses of this convent, where Augustinian friars gathered every day, we can now experience through art the ferment of those times. In the 13th century, the bishops, heirs to the holiness of St. Cerbonius, gave up their feudal authority and handed over their worldly domain to the citizens of Massa. It was a century of freedom and wealth for this free town. Great artists hastened to Massa from Pisa and Siena, and here in 1335 Ambrogio Lorenzetti painted his Maestà, a virgin enthroned, surrounded by angels, saints, prophets, and evangelists. These were the years of contention between Florence and Siena for the supremacy of Tuscany. Massa surrendered to Siena, and links with the city of the Palio grew stronger. Massa's artistic development did not falter, quite the contrary. Painters and sculptors flocked to the churches of the town, and it is from these churches, from the cathedral, from St. Augustine, that the works exhibited in this museum originated. After the unification of Italy, the poor friars were forced to leave the convent. The building was used as a nursery and primary school. Today's middle-aged townsfolk of Massa all spent their childhood years within these walls. And finally, the most recent and enlightened transformation came about in 2005. Thanks to the collaboration between the town of Massa, the diocese, and the superintendency, the Sacred Art Museum was created. The name is correct, if diminishing, considering the treasures it holds. For centuries, the beauty of the statues, the paintings, the altarpieces, and the polyptyches currently hosted in this museum had been lost or forgotten. It was only in the late 1800s that these masterpieces were found again, one after another, in storerooms, in lofts, in boiler rooms, even walled into an altar. The great Swiss historian, Max Seidel, realized that the crucifix over the altar in the cathedral had been sculpted by Giovanni Pisano. By the early 20th century, there was no longer any doubt that the panels with a gold background were in fact an exceptional work by Ambrogio Lorenzetti. The exhibits in this museum are pieces that have been retrieved following theft, fragments of lost masterpieces that have survived, paintings that have somehow escaped man's carelessness. A miracle. The glow of gold paint and the blue reflection of the sky have reappeared like one of those prodigies that art at times can generate.